Hello there, this is Maria here with the art journal finally finished, ready to do a flip through. I will try to be as brief as possible. How are you all doing today? I hope that you're great, that you're very blessed, that you have been arting, that you have been crafting. And if you don't mind, please hit that like button so that YouTube can push this message out to many people and inspire them to create some beautiful art. So, let's get started. This book consists of the cover of an old book that I gutted and took the pages out and added my own pages. The pages that I added were from books, magazines, some of my kids' old art from school, like this one. I added pages from junk mail, etc., whatever I could find. The outside of it is basically just playing with paint, just splattering around, making marks, collaging images, created a flower mark making. I have acrylics and graphite and maybe some charcoal even, I'm not quite sure. So just simple and fun. This is a pretty eclectic journal, and that's how I tend to work. Little lady in the garden. Lots of splatters. I believe I did add some alcohol inks here, and you see some collage images there. This is an old photo, original, a lady, I believe maybe from the 40s. Here is some napkin and fabric with stitching, and this stitching was done by hand, just little dots and lines, just fun, and some, what do you call these, tussles, I think they're called, I don't remember. And what I like to do is carry on that image design onto the next page. So I have painted the flowers with the same image basically, or similar, underneath, and extended it from the top out. Little cluster of fabric here. Little love story here, some music paper. It says, "I'll string along with you." The guy here, the girl, you know how that goes. This is a napkin and some hand stitching on top of vellum paper. Clusters of fabric and scrapbook paper, acrylics. This is actually a real flower covered up in paint. Unfortunately, I overdid it because I wanted to keep it in its original state as much as possible, and I got carried away with the paint. But that's okay, I still like it. It says, "You will never leave me," as to how God never leaves us. Here's some fabric, burlap, stitching, fabric, paper, collage. This is on video. This is on video as well. These are trinkets that I find on the street. Again, that's also materials I like to use. Whatever I can add that makes things fun, versatile, different, and interesting. This is a dried flower, and I ended up adding quite a bit of paint on it to get the look I wanted. Some stitching and fabric. This is on video, as well as this page. I did not like how this turned out after all. This is too loud. It's like it's screaming at me. It's very busy for my eyes and messy. I don't love it. So I had to figure out a way to calm it down. So I used this beautiful handmade paper, and I put a dried rose on it and some lace here. Collaged a butterfly on fabric. And this is some torn fabric. Here it says, "Always so close beside me." That's how the Lord is, right? Just a heart there, kind of wild, just having fun with color. This is on video. Again, we have fabric and text, just images and stitches. Acrylics, having fun with the hearts, carrying that theme to this area. This was a lot of fun to do. This lady was original page, And I just carried this image of the leaves over here and added some ribbon. This is on video, and I tell the story of the little penny. I found this on the street, it's rusted, and it reminded me of my dog Penny. She was named Penny by my daughter because she was so little, like a little bitty ball and copper. So my daughter thought she looked like a penny. So when I finished this, I had journaled over here, and I never knew what to do with that page. Eventually, I thought, I'm going to cover it up and put my little penny on it. So that's what I did. I painted my little penny. She was a red poodle. And I put a penny for my thoughts. And it goes with my penny over here. This is on video then. This may be on video too. Dry flowers again. Same materials that I've already talked about. This is on a previous video, recent. Some journaling. Nice little message here. This is from a magazine. Simple images you can use in fabric, and this is scrapbook paper. Pocket, different materials, painted papers, fabric, a real feather, little clusters stitched together, fabric and paper. This is on video how I added these. I don't love the spread. I needed something else. I added these trinkets from the street. I think it adds balance and contrast, a little more interest in this lace. This is too yellow for me. These are real petals from sunflowers that my kids gifted me, and it was a lot of fun to make. However, the yellow is just too much. Painted papers here, collage down. This is just the image of a lady and little hidden text there, or journaling. Also some fabric here in the middle. I like to add fabric in the middle of the spine and stitch it up. This was a lot of fun. These are mementos from my kids. This is a card that my daughter gifted my husband and I recently. And so these are elements for scrapbooking that I don't use, but I can use them in my art journal if I want to. Creates a different look. So that's a good idea. So it's not just sitting around wasting away. Here's the back. And of course, what your kids do for you, they melt your heart. So why my heart melts. And this is a drawing my son did when he was little, a pencil, and it says the bigger pencil. It's upside down because the other page is flipped under some other pages. It's the right side up, I believe. But anyway, I thought, what are little boys made of? And I found out. Frogs and snails, puppy dog tails, that is what little boys are made of. So I made sure I added a nice little text there and painted the pencil, added some hearts myself. The rest is my son's creation, and a little card from scrapbooking and fabric. So this is precious to me, and it was a lot of fun and very simple to do. Acrylics, dry flowers, lace, old papers, tissue paper. These are dried flowers, lace, acrylics, stitches. This has some meaning based on the book of Ecclesiastes, the part where it says, vanity, vanity. It's all a chasing after the wind. So this was a lot of fun to create. This is in one of my previous videos, probably the last one prior to this one. I like this. It's very meaningful to me. I think it's sweet. I love these animals. Here it says, daughter of the king. It feels like she's in the jungle there with the animals. Just acrylics and some collage imagery there. We are children of the King. I love this. I love the colors. Some napkin, I believe this is. Some handmade paper. And just, oh, this is a tea bag as well, I think. Just journaling. And again, fabric in the middle. Little messaging here. This is on the previous video, I believe. This is some collage pieces I just had laying around. And this is just a bunch of paint that I had poured on a piece of paper. And I cut out the shapes that I saw that looked like flowers and leaves. That's a great way to create some art when you are not quite inspired. Just dump a bunch of paint and let it dry and see what you can find. There was a lot of fun, and I actually did this on a trip that took like 10 hours or more, I think, and it was fun to just cut it up and put it together. I get very bored writing. Again, collage pieces, and she is from a little girl that inspired me from the internet. I love this. This has some personal meaning. And it says, I have to go. Just an old picture. It represents life as we are born in this earth and then we have to go. And as children of God, we're dressed in white when we go before the Lord. These are just some threads and fabric, and here it says life in fabric. I love these colors. I don't love how I did this, but I really like this old image from a book. This is on video. Love the little bird, fabric, and paper and stitching. Just some original art. Little pocket with some journaling. It was a rainy night prior to that day, and I collected this one leaf. This is a real leaf, and just glued it down, pressed it and glued it down. Just some old art, fun, colorful. I did do this little bird and created a nest with different materials, fabrics, lace, threads, some burlap here and fabric. It gets lost in the spine there. Just an old piece of some art that I had done, ripped it up and put it in this background and added the bird. This is on video and it's one of my favorites. If you watch the video, you'll see why. My kitty. And it's interactive, so it's a lot of fun. It says, I love you. And this is my little refrigerator with a pot of marmalade and some journaling inside. I just love this. And different collage elements that relate to this. This was so fun. This is on video as well. Lord, I need you. I always need God every day. The butterfly is carrying the key from the light into the darkness. I love this one as well as on video. If you want to check it out, so much fun. This was the art from my son. This guy and these little guys here, the original page, and I added the castle, etc. I love this one. Has personal meaning. This is for somebody whom I love very much, and she was carrying a huge burden on her shoulders. And it's just a bunch of painted papers, fun, that I just threw together to create these fun backgrounds. And it says, do not carry it. Underneath it says, leave it. I may add something to this, I don't know. And here is some journaling about this. And this has to do with the Lord Jesus. He says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I'm gentle and humble in heart." I love that verse. I believe that verse is in Matthew, if I'm not mistaken. So this had to do with that. It was a beautiful time and so fun and colorful and easy. This is an old flag from a garden. It's even a little faded, stitched up with some journaling, clusters of fabric, papers, coffee dyed papers, just playing with shapes and designs, just doing something different. Like to carry on the images again. I painted these flowers to mimic these flowers. That was fun. This is an old paper that I had painted and doodled and had laying around for literally, gosh, maybe 6 years or something. And I added some collage images to it and more paint and created a little story there. It's about home. And here's a tiny little church. And this is just a happy page, a beautiful world. And this is the end. Some little pieces of art that I had done, and I cut them up and put them here with this painted background I had made. Painted papers. And here's some more fabric in the spine. And that is it. This was started October 2022 and ended in March of 2024. I did not work on it consistently. If I would have, it wouldn't have taken that long. But anyway, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And I thank you so much for watching. And I hope that you come back and see me next time. You'll be very blessed. Bye-bye.